All right, we're trying to dial in hole number 2. I'm going to attempt to qualify today. And so I'm just going to go through the holes and just play minimum score, and I'm going to see what my shot is going into the cup, trying to bring the right stuff, trying to make changes on my notes. I'll go back and watch all the videos. So hole number 2 is Koh Hung Resort, hole number 4. Da 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 da. All right, I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment. I'm doing 1 per ring. And if I have to, I'll change the adjustment, the wind adjustment, but I'm staying at 1 per ring. And I'm going to do like 4 plus backspin. I'm taking the Grizzly and the Navigator. What I really should be practicing with here is a turkey ball. Let's see if a turkey ball puts me in the range, because those are the only low wind balls that I have. I'm going to see, because I don't need any side spin here. I'm going to try a turkey ball. That's the lowest wind that I have. And I'm just going to work the math. If I have to, I'll change the percentage, the wind percentage number, like I said, but I'm going to work the math so that I can stay at 1 per ring. So we'll have to see where we're at, and hopefully I can hit some perfects going into the hole. These shots going into the cup are the most important. Like the drive shots, like totally unimportant. It's just like you're trying to make a setup shot that you just do that shot right there, and you end up with your delivery system out in the middle of the fairway, right where you want to be for the clubs that you brought to take the second shot. So now I'm really trying to practice the second shot. I already got the first shot in the bag. Now I'm trying to figure out the second shot. And the second shot is really the money shot, especially if you can get it into your minimum short iron. I'm going to take a turkey ball. Why did you waste my time? Why did you waste my time? 4. I'm going to do 5. Let's start on that edge of the cup. Doing a 20%, so that's 2, 3, 6. 2, 1. Let's say 2, 2. Ah, hit great to the left. I was running out of time. Man, it is raining outside my house. Like raining, and it's sunny outside. We're getting that kind of weather. We had a cloud that just went by that dropped some sleet, and now it's sunny outside, and the backside of that sleet cell is dropping rain. We're in our puffy cloud days. It's my favorite time of the year. I love puffy clouds. I love when it rains on a sunny day. It's very islandy. Nice shot. They had a better trajectory than me. Their speed was off. I'm gonna have to work with that backspin number. There's a happy medium down there. Either you put on a bunch of backspin, or you can put on a little, and you have to finesse it. And so I'm still trying to work that. But I haven't got my trajectory right yet, so it's making it blatantly obvious. I think I broke that video off. I did. I'll have to attach it. What was I thinking? I'll have to attach that one on the beginning. But maybe that'll be the one that I need for enough time. And I will play these straight through. I'm going to need something to drink. I can tell you that right now. So you guys may have to listen to me make coffee. I do not want to play this hole in front of people. And I do not. Hey, come on, dude. You really didn't just do that. You really didn't just like hang up on me. You didn't just forfeit and like be a gentleman about it. You're going to make me work for those coins? Because I can't touch the screen because you timed out because you wanted to waste my time. I will forfeit the second that I can and get away from you. All right. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? Hole number 3 is the Oasis. This is our first Oasis hole. Hole number 6. Anytime you use the word Oasis, I like the Oasis holes. We should have a great time this week. This is the bounce city bounce. I'm trying to get the speed right with my sniper. So I'm doing an extra mile Kingmaker. It seems like this particular tournament is sponsored by Kingmaker. It's the Island Ball. It wants to be working with the wind, have good boogie left and right. Good power. It's got it all. We're out partying. Extra mile, Kingmaker, sniper. That would be all I need. If I need anything other than that, I'm in deep trouble. I have bigger problems than the fact that I need something other than that. Unstable connection. Let's try that again. So everybody out there who played in T7 this week, raise your hand. If you played in T7 this week, you had access to all these holes. So that means you played these holes from the Pro Tees, and the whole goal all week was to try and go out there and play them with a Marlin, Quasar here and there. Only play the tournament holes with the bigger stuff so that you could see what it felt like, and you were getting it done. You were kicking butt with a Marlin. So now we're playing from the rookie tees. You should be able to just like kill it. 310 or 3-4. So there's 3-3. We're just a smidgen over a ring and a half. Like a tick. Hitting it perfect. Trying to get our bounce diddy bounce right. Bounce diddy bounce. Overshot it just a titch. Just a little. Maybe I should have added on 10%. Just for good measure. I'm doing a sniper with a 15% adjustment on the second shot. And try and tighten up my notes here a little bit while I'm playing. Look at the deal. So 15% be 1.15 times whatever the wind is, divided by 1. Which means I have to do no extra math other than just the initial however much it is. And I'm going to be a little short because I clipped that rough. So 2.7. It's a 3.1 wind adjustment. Luckily for me, I brought a club with a lot of topspin, and I do not mind being a little short. So 3-1. I'm going to put just a little bit of overpower on it. Oh, and I was way anticipation. Way anticipation. And I'll just chip it up. I didn't end up in the spot that I really want to practice, and I don't want to push the issue there with doing a bunch of overpower and being on the backside of that green. The backside of that green is like the deal is it's very sensitive. If you overshoot it, bam, you're in the rough. So If you're not in the perfect spot where you can really go for the hole, just do exactly what you would do in one-on-one. You would lay up out in front and you would abandon any chance for the super clean, whatever it was you were looking for, and you would just put yourself in a super easy eagle situation and roll to the next hole. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Ooh, and your opponent might make it. Nice shot. Nice shot. Crowd went wild. And I would recommend doing this with just a little bit of backspin and get right up on the hole and avoid any of that tailwind or that topspin stuff. And the adjustment's about the same. I'm going to just move right over on the edge of the cup. I'm hedging my bet. And we'll see if it paid off. I had a great to the right and a perfect. I missed a great to the, or excuse me, I had a great to the left and a perfect, and I hit a great to the right. Arr. Now I wish my opponent had made that, Albie. Damn it. That's what I'm talking about. Epic fail. That's an epic fail right there. That's a tournament losing shot. Because now that means that I have to use the one that I got on hole number one, the one I got up to get me to a 14. I have to use that shot to now cover myself. So that just puts more pressure on the holes at the end. Every time you drop a shot off the minimum score, that was a losing. Like if you look at the ones that I picked up on hole number one, that's a tournament winning shot. And if you get enough of those, depending on the tournament, that's how many you have to get. So if you drop one off the minimum, and I haven't dropped one off the minimum all week long, and then I did it in my 77 qualifying round, I may not qualify today. So like you can't afford to have like a drop shot like that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe that'll give me something to strive for. If I can pick it up immediately and make it up on the next hole, then I can put myself back on track, and I just lost the hole. We got a serious shot on hole number 4, which is the Oasis. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. That was. What were you thinking? All right, I'm doing a Guardian. And I'm going to try a turkey ball because it's the only low wind ball that I have. If it doesn't work, I'm going to immediately switch to a Kingmaker. And I'm going to bring a Guardian so I can do a rough bump. One of these has got to have a Guardian in it. Gotta have a Guardian in some bag. There's some holes you get on them and you look at it and it's like the second shot definitely takes a Guardian. It's going to be a Guardian shot. That's the club that you really want to have on that second shot. Then you pull out that other bag. On those shots, I pull out the Apocalypse because I haven't used the Apocalypse a lot, so I'm trying to break it into the club, into the bags. I'm not sure if I have enough red line distance. I do. Excellent. I'm going to try and come at it from over on this side because I think it's flatter over here. I think there's a trough. And I won't be able to go all the way over with a turkey. I'll have to do it from right here. 1.7. I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment. So I'm going to do a 2 and a 1.2. That right there. Let's see if we're even in the ballpark. And I hit it great to the right. Damn it. Arr! The ball guide is lying. Or just that one move great to the right can throw you off because it puts you in a different deal. But I can't believe that the way the wind's blowing there. Even if I was a little bit further back, the ball guide just seems like it's lying. That's why I wanted to be way off to the right, because it seemed like there was a spot out there where I was in the trough. But the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I bring a 3 side spin ball. And so I'm going to change that up to a katana, because that red line distance there was pretty good. I had plenty of room of maneuver. So I'm going to bring a katana, making a change in my notes. Still, I worked yesterday really hard on just figuring out which club I wanted to go in. And now I'm seeing some second shots and I'm seeing some different looks on things. So now we're trying to tighten up that ball issue, especially on these par threes. And I can start working that number. But I didn't like the rough bump from the left hand side. I did like it. I took it one time earlier. I had a Kingmaker and I took it from the right hand side and it worked out really well. I will forfeit. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Doesn't seem like it takes forever to get to the shootout stuff, but like when you're playing one-on-one, it's like it happens in a heartbeat. Okay, continue. Hole number 5. Let's see. What are we on? Hole number 5. Oasis. Hole number 8. It's par 4. I'm taking an extra mile, a Kingmaker, and a Hornet. Trying to work the Hornet shot. Extra mile, Kingmaker, Hornet. That's all I need. And I'm at the mid club range with my Hornet, so I'm at 1.75 per ring. All right, let's roll. Let's see if we can get this hole in the bag and make up for my epic fail. That's the deal. How the hell can that happen? You can go out there and shoot that with a Marlin and on the Pro Tee, and you come out in rookie and you're trying to go for it, and you brought better stuff and have an epic fail. And it typically almost always boils down to the drive. Because if you put yourself in the right spot and you epic fail, then that's a real epic fail. So it almost always boils down to your drive shot got messed up. That's why whenever you can use an accurate club, you've got a much better chance of that never happening. On that particular drive, I have to use an extra mile. On this particular drive, you really want to use an extra mile because of the topspin. If you had an Apocalypse 5, you could use it and be more accurate. I want to verify that mid club. And we want to end up right in front of those shadows is the ideal spot. And that should be like 365, 370, somewhere in that neighborhood. Maybe 2 rings off any transitional surface. And it's 2-3. That's a little over a ring. I'll put just a little teeny bit of that power back in it. And then I'm going to lean it just a little bit to the left. And I hit it great to the left. It may bleed forward too far and end up in the rough where I actually overshot it. Anything to the left, I take a risk of overshooting. Anything to the right, the fairway opens up, and I want to be right there in front of those fronds. The whole idea on that shot is I'm 2 rings off on the first bounce, so that means I have 2. I can hit it 2 rings great to the left before I clip the rough on that first bounce, and then I put that curl in there and that side spin in there to bring it away from the rough on the right hand side, on the second bounce. And so I'm trying to weave it through so that both bounces are like right in the spot, and it terminates in the right area. That way I have tons of room on both ends of the shot. It's super important that you end up in a similar vicinity, because these rough bumps are like the rough bump here. It seems different. It's not playing right. Because you should be able to be about 2 rings off. Go right at it. It seems like it wants to be short. It's 3.7. So 1.75. So there's 3.5. It's 2. So we're just a little teeny bit over 2 rings. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. I'll have to go back and watch that and see like which way the wind was. Like, should I have done a 30% there, or should I have done a 10% there? Because that shot right there, I'll tell you. And the ball guide is not running right. So if you leave the ball guide right at the hole, it'll stop before it gets to the hole. And if you leave it just a little bit in front of the hole, it'll be really short. But there's a fine line. If you put too much on it, it hits a spot out there, and it'll roll flat and goes super fast. So I'll go back and watch the video later tonight, and I'll see like what kind of an adjustment I made there, and I'll work the math out. See what I can do to improve that shot. If I can get several good shots like that coming in where I have some fails, and we could check speed, and then I have some successes, we can go back and see if I got the wind adjustment right, and then that way we can verify the numbers. That's why my game gets better as the week goes on, because I'll go back and I'll watch the video. If you guys are using the same numbers, like if you're using paper numbers, like if you're using the app does a lot of that stuff for you. So by knowing your numbers, knowing how to use it so that if your app fails you, or if like you get caught up and you don't know the deal, you know the numbers on your clubs. Like knowing how to do the numbers the old-fashioned way is definitely a skill to have in your bag. Hole number 6. Koh Hong. Hole number 3. How much time we got on this video? We got plenty of time. Hole number 3. Koh Hong Resort. Hole number 3. Taking a rock. Let's see if we can not epic fail. And we can get this is a great Albie hole. Taking my number 2 bag. I'm taking a Kingmaker. I'm taking the wind out on both shots, so I want to make sure I cut the wind down as much as I can. The Rock. Max top spin. Max on right hand side spin. I'm doing plus 20% to the cup. I go first. No, let's get in the right club. Max top spin, however much I can get on, and right hand side spin. We're trying to get out into that area right there. So I'm going to put that second bounce so that it's right there in the rough. 3-6. I'm going to do a 10%, so I'm going to do a 4-ring pull. And then I'll put a little bit of right hand curl on it just to bring it back to the middle of the fairway. Hitting it perfect. It's 2 rings off that, 2 rings off that. And it's just rolling down the middle of the fairway. Let the club do the work. Let the wind do the work. If the wind can't do the work for you, then take the wind out. See if my opponent can get it right here. They got an extra mile level 7 and a navigator, and that navigator will not hurt them on the drive. Where it'll hurt them is it could potentially hurt them on the second shot. But that's only if they can get their drive out there. They got good distance, so they should have no problems with the nav. No problems. And I can use my sniper on the top or the bottom. I'm going to get right up on it. About 2 rings off. Just dial it up to the cup. 2-4. And I'm doing a 20% wind adjustment, so that's going to be 4. So it's about 2-9. It's almost 3 rings. Hit it perfect. Into the hole. Come on, let's see if we can get that in the hole. Let's see if that wind adjustment, how close that gets me. I need to do a little more. And I think the last time I was here, I needed to do a little bit more as well. So I need to do like a 30% wind adjustment. I'm going to erase that 20 and put a 30. I'm moving up. I'm going to put moving up was 20. So I know that the number, and I'm going to circle that 30 so I know that's the number I'm on. Let's see if we can tighten them up. See if we can tighten up our notes as the week goes on. It's a lot more fun to create your own notes and like take what you see out there and take it with a grain of salt, and then just like work on your stuff for your clubs. Like, where are you ending up? Like, what do you need to do? Instead of trying to relearn how to do the shot some other way, like if you're in a spot and you're like always right there, like what can you do to improve that? Because there is definitely some shots that you can take coming into these holes that are different than what I'm doing. Especially on some of the ones where they have rough bumps. Because I don't like rough bumps at a certain angle. And I would encourage everybody out there to not like them at that angle as well. Kyle. Did I win that? Just outright win it? Winner, winner, chicken dinner? All right, I'm down a hole. So I'm on the minus 12 track. So what are we on? I'm on hole number 8. Hole number 8 is Koh Hong Resort. Hole number 5. Is this the hole we're on? No. That can't be right. That can't be right. We have a par 3 coming up here. We're on hole number 7. Hole number 7. This is with the Guardian. I'm going to go look at the hole just so that I can burn it into my memory banks. And it's Oasis, hole number 5. Just want to see it. And I'm going to go play it. All right. And we have the setup of setups on this. So if you didn't watch my practice account when I did it, here's the deal. We're going to use a Guardian. And I'm going to use a turkey ball because the 2 works here. It doesn't matter. You don't need any side spin. so I can cut the wind down. And then that's all I need. So here's the thing. This is a 1.2 accuracy club, and we're going to add on 20% for the wind. So if we have an equation, I'll do this again. So if you watch both those videos, sorry. If you have an equation and it's one, here's our math is that we have a 1 point, we're going to do a 20% wind adjustment. So if the wind was 3, we're going to times it by 1.2 to come up with a number. And that number is going to be 3.6, right? So then if we take 3.6, so that gives us a number. We know that the wind is the wind we really should be adjusting for is 3.6. And then we're going to divide that by our club's accuracy. So that our Guardian is 1.2. That's going to give us 3 rings, right? See how that math worked? Okay, and look at this. This 3 right here, and we ended up with a 3 right here. We could have stopped right there. Because this number is 1.2 and this number is 1.2, and those two numbers cancel each other out in that equation. So we end up with 3. So whatever the wind is, if the wind is 4.2, if the wind is 3.6, if the wind is 2.1, it doesn't matter what the wind is. Whatever the wind is, that's how many rings I'm going to move with max backspin. I think 7 backspin's the number. I think 7 backspin is what you need to make this, to be happy. And you have a serious hole-in-one shot on this. Serious. We're going to do our backspin first. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to put on 7 backspin. So we're going to put on, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 backspin. Get it up here. I want to get behind the hole so that I can walk that line right to it. And then I'm going to move it 2.7 rings. There's 1, 2, there's 2.5, there's about 2.7. And I'm just going to try and get a hole-in-one. Isn't it perfect? And I gave myself a serious look at hole-in-one right there. Serious look. Oh. I have to go back and look and see where I went wrong on that. That should be in the hole. That should be in the hole. Every time you hit it in there perfect, it should be in the hole. I hit that shot earlier today, and I hit it like 1 ring great to the right, and I was just right off the cup. I need to go back and watch to see where my second bounce is landing, because I'm setting it up where my second bounce is almost dead center in the first cut of the rough. So like my opponent is in the second cut of the rough, and I don't want anything to do with the second cut. Because the second cut, when you move your wind adjustment out, you have to contend with that sand, or you have to come at it from an angle like my opponent is. And I want to be able to get up over the top of the cup, so I'm coming down at it. And the only way you can do that and not involve that sand is being that second cut or the first cut of the rough. Because you do not want to be long on this hole. And you can get long on the upper one if you get the wind adjustment wrong. And you'll see people that'll scoot all the way across the other side, and it is a crap putt from the other side. In the hole. Let's go out there and have some fun this week, though. There are some shots on here where we're doing those max overpower hook shots that are kind of fun. Like, where we can go out and just kind of like have fun on a course. I have my notes. I did my notes for the previous hole on that hole. I will forfeit. Sitting here scribbling on my notes. Sorry about that. Was trying to get some quick notes just so that I had some thought process when I go. I'll make a whole brand new set of notes, a very clean set. And I'll go back and watch the video and see which one of these chicken scratches was actually the right one. Or like, did I move off or did I get better or worse? Do I need to go the other direction? Hole number 8. Hole number 8, Koh Hong Resort. Hole number 5. Koh Hong. Hole number 5. Max overpower hook. Quarter blue out. Quarter of my blue ring out. Extra mile. Kingmaker. Doing a max overpower hook shot here. Extra mile, Kingmaker. I want to look at all my bags here real quick. Grizzly, Hornet, Rapier, Nirvana, and Spitfire are my usual suspects. I'm not moving off of those on any hole. Okay, so let's move them. There's no hole here that requires anything more than these, and I want to bring my accurate stuff to bear if I get down in that range. So the only clubs that I'm changing here are my wood and my driver. Extra mile. That way for the rest of the tournament, that's how my bag is set up, because I don't want to get on a hole and not have, I want to have the same, I don't see any special stuff on any of these holes as far as other club. I don't need to bring a Houdini or something like that. Let's open up a chest, get some commons rolling. 28 commons. There we go. That's a 1/10, a little less than 1/10, a little smidgen less than 1/10 what I need every day. So that means if you were playing Tour 3, you'd have to open up 10, 11 chests, 11, 12 chests a day. Okay, so I am at a quarter of my blue ring out with 4.5 top spin and 6 right-hand side spin. Okay. Let me shoot this one. I'll come in. Mwah. See if my opponent can get up there into the shadows. I don't ever hit that shot down there at the bottom without. I hit that with a rock or a QB every time, and it's a max curl shot. It's a great way to practice those shots, and you're in a wide open fairway, so you can get used to taking those. You can get used to seeing like how much curl it has, because it's you can't get as deep because you don't have the raw distance to get up there, but you can get it way up there. Okay, 4.5, which puts me right at 5. And I'm going to bring about a quarter of my blue ring off. I'm going to take the wind out. 3-2. It's about a ring and a half. I just lost my grid. And I got all of it. Just a little too much, little too far out. So the blue ring, if my blue ring is right up against the edge of the transition between the fairway and the rough, I'm a little too far to the left and I end up tailing off the wrong way. And so I was right there. I was like maybe a third of a ring off, and just that little teeny bit of variance threw me off the deal. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that down to a nittier grittier thing. So I'm going to start making I'm going to just put it on the transition so that it's in a set spot. Take the wind out. And then I'm going to make my wind adjustment, and I'll make any special adjustment I need to make as far as like I think I need to be a third of a ring or a quarter of a ring down there because I have much more accuracy. I have a lot more accuracy down that low. I'm going to do a full ring. Made it like 2 rings straight to the right. Right in the ballpark. That Spitfire is super accurate. It's not as accurate when it's at distance as it is when it's close up, but it's still a very accurate club. And it stops really fast. Like from that distance right there with, I don't even know that I put any backspin on it. From that distance right there, that's how fast it stopped because of how high the bounces are. Yeah, I know the feeling, dude. I did that on a hole earlier. A nice, easy chip in and just missed it. Like I've taken that shot 1,000 times. I practice that shot all the time. I put myself in that spot all the time, so I have no fear of being in that spot. And then I miss one in the qualifying round. I haven't missed one all week. That pisses me off. That was an epic fail. Maybe that'll inspire me all week. All right, we're on hole number 9. How much time we got? We got enough time for hole number 9? We do. We have just enough time for hole number 9. Hole number 9 is Koh Hong Resort. Hole number 9, we have an Albie shot here. I'm taking a rock and a Kingmaker. I'm even going to look at it. I know. I see it. Rock, Kingmaker, Sniper. To the hole. Number 2 bag. Kingmaker. This tournament really is sponsored by Kingmaker. My clan president, Colin. I will have to call him back. He'll be excited. I hung up on you, Mike. Sorry about that. I did. I just reached over there and just hung up on you. That's how it works. Let's go get hole number 9 in the bag. Let's get our Albie right here and make up for my epic fail and at least be 1 up. So the minimum score is -12. -24 is what we're looking for in the opening round. But if I can come in with a -13, -26, it should be -13, -26, -28 in the weekend round. So I'm shooting for that 28 to 30. My goal sheet, my scope sheet says -30 on it. That's my goal going into the week. So if you're super good, you can get more than that. So I'm just trying to be good, not super good. About 2.5 rings off. 2-9. 2-9. Put a little teeny bit of curl on it. And hit a 1 ring great to the right, which took out about half of that curl. And I want to get up there to the shadows, but I keep ending up towards the trunk shadow, and I want to get more towards the frond shadow, but I don't want to. There's a fine line up down there about curl, and I didn't put my grid back up. And I put a tick on there just for this hole. So I knew how much curl to put on it. What I do need to find out, because I'm not all the way at my red line, is like where I'm at down there. I need to pay attention to like to see if I'm in the pluses, where I'm in the like +3 or +4. I didn't see it on theirs. I'm not sure when that thing shows up or what activates it, but I didn't see it on theirs. Very nicely done. And that's with an extra mile. That's a great, nice shot. I mean, that's the spot. That's the same exact spot I'm in. I'm right up against my red line. I'm just going to dial it to the cup. The ball guide is slightly lying. And I'm going right, kind of right at it. Move just a little teeny bit. 2.8. It's 3. Let's see if we can hit it perfect. Oh, one ring great to the right. We'll see if we're off, like if we need to do more of an adjustment until I can hit that perfect. I like my speed coming through there. It's still just a little teeny fast. If you could get up there where you could get into your back spin range. So like if you brought out a power 5 ball, not necessarily for the first shot, like thinking critically on this, if you brought out a power 5 ball right here and you ended up in that same exact spot, you didn't try and get any more on the drive. You didn't bring that power 5 ball for the drive. Your drive was just a delivery system. And you put your power 5 ball up there at the top, you may be able to get your red line to the point forward where you could engage like even just a little tick of backspin. And if you put a little bit of backspin, your ball guide will run truer and you can get right up to the cup. And so your ball guide will run, so you won't have that variance in speed. That's why on a lot of these holes, I'll say that you have more control if you have a little bit of backspin. So you can control that ball guide, the tip of it down there a little bit better if you have just a little bit of backspin. That's why I play my Hornet a lot with just like one backspin. Because think about it when you first started playing. When you first started playing, you didn't have a lot of backspin. You didn't have a lot of topspin. And so you came at these holes with very little movement because you didn't have but very little movement. And so if we go back to like playing, like thinking like that, where you just, because the less movement you have to put on it, the better it'll roll. At least that's the way it feels to me. Shootout. I am not taking this shootout. I am not getting a hole in one. I am not going to do it. It wouldn't be prudent. Not at this juncture. All right, coming in with the minimum score. Isn't that depressing? Look at that. I dropped the shot. On hole number 3. Dinking around. Like that hole is like super easy. So it's going to be one of those weeks. So don't do as I did. But I picked up hole number 1, and that's big, is picking up one of those holes we're doing that max horsepower hook shot on. Because I think that like the traditional way you play at those holes, they're going to be low percentage holes. And so even if we can get it, even if we can figure it out, we're like 3 out of 5 times we're in the right spot where we have that serious look at it, that we're going to end up netting more eagles on those holes by doing the max horsepower hooks than we would if we tried to go at it the conventional way. But you'll have to have recovery clubs and kind of know like like I wasn't upset about taking some of those recovery shots because I know like if I end up in the sand and I screw up in the sand, I can make it from there with my Spitfire. I can make that shot and I can get close. And so you may have to take that shot a few times and you can still give yourself a shot by knowing your win numbers for your other clubs. But I don't think we're going to need a lot of clubs in this course. It seems to me that, and how much time I have in the video? I got a few minutes. So it seems to me that I'm using my extra mile a lot and I'm using my sniper a lot. And I really haven't had any, I don't know that there's any holes here that I'm moving off of. So like whatever bag you pick, you can pick like your most accurate, best ball guide long iron, whether that's a Backbone or a Saturn or whatever it is. If depending on where your backbone level is, I like a Saturn. A Saturn, you know, like if the ball guide's very similar, I'm okay with Saturn because the Saturn's rings are really easy. It's 1.9 per ring. So like in some shots, if you're at 2.0, like the math is like you just don't have time to do the math at 2.0. It's super easy. It may be just a little off, but I make it a lot with the Saturn as well. And I think because if you're pulling on if like that 0.1 will hurt you on some shots, but on some shots, that's the variable. That's like the 10% wind adjustment. You just gave it a 5% wind adjustment. And I'm definitely haven't had to move off my Hornet on any of these holes. And as far as like the bottom three, those three, unless like it's like some super special thing, you want distance, distance, and distance. So any of those shots, those big, if we're doing the hook shots and you end up far away, you want the longest hitting stuff that you have in your bag. Getting my Nirvana to level 8 and getting it to 135 was a big step because now it has the same distance as the big hitter Amazon. I think there's one other one here. I think the off-roader gets to 135, I believe. The off-roader is actually the club to have when it gets up to like level 7 or 8. Anything that I get in this category, although I will say I got the Razor, the Nirvana, and some other, I think I got the Amazon. I got those 3 in my tin chest, and I picked the Amazon because the Amazon is an excellent club. It just doesn't have killer ball guide, but when you need a backspin club, it gets to 100% backspin, and it's got 100% topspin, and it's a great club. It's almost like the big dog of this range. It never gets great ball guide, but there's nothing else that it can't do. All right, I don't think we're going to have to move much off of those 2 bags. You can interchange your rock with your QB. I've just got the rock in there just 100% for pure raw distance. Because with raw distance plus the topspin, the rock should be hitting out there farther as long as I'm at my red line. So if I have to pull back a little bit, the quarterback's actually a better club. But the accuracy is the same. Ball guide's the same. So if you've got a QB, it's not going to hurt you. And I don't think I have to move off those. I haven't used my big topper at all. So this bag here, I haven't needed a big dog. And there's only one hole out there, 1 or 2 holes out there that I need a Guardian. So that's my typical bag that I carry a Guardian in. All right, that'll work. That works. That works on all of them. Okay, I will go through and watch all the videos, and I will create a set of opening round notes. I'll try and do that tonight. I tried to qualify all my. I think I still have. I may still have my 99 account to qualify. No, I qualified it yesterday. I was trying to qualify yesterday, and I didn't realize that Playdemic changed its time, and so I thought I had like an hour and 15 minutes, and because it's been like that the last couple of weeks where they didn't observe daylight savings time, and then all of a sudden they have now, and so the tournament ends at midnight instead of 1 o'clock in the morning, and it threw me off, and I ended up qualifying after only playing 6 holes. So I qualified with an 8, and then I qualified my practice account and my main account today. So tomorrow I'll work on notes, and then I'll shoot a video on notes, and we'll go through and I'll talk about the holes and like where I'm at and what I observed from the videos. So keep working on your clubs, and hopefully you won't have any epic fails like I did. Have a great round. Thanks for watching.